Woodward Academy GMA. We want to welcome back all of our alumni who are visiting. And as the Honor Guard presents the colors, please rise and remain standing as Woodward Academy President Dr. Stuart Gully gives the invitation and the Woodward Academy Chaplain Robert Lawrence sings our national anthem.
Let us pray. Oh God, we thank you that you always invite us home. We are grateful for the generations of graduates of this place who have returned this evening home. May they have a sense of fellowship and pride in their alma mater. We thank you for a beautiful fall evening, for a chance to gather at this occasion, to celebrate and to give recognition to the efforts of young people as cheerleaders, band players, and football players. In all of our endeavors this evening, may they give their best effort, and may they be focused on doing it with an attitude of integrity. May we, through this night's events, be inspired and challenged to draw closer to you, to follow you home, and to serve you always. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. All right, once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We want to welcome you to Woodward Academy's Graham Hickson Field at Colquitt Stadium, and we want to thank Dr. Gully and a special thanks to Chaplain Lawrence for that wonderful national anthem. And once again, it is homecoming at Woodward Academy of GMA, and we want to welcome back all of our alumni. We hope you all have a wonderful visit back home. And of course, we have a special halftime presentation tonight where we will recognize the homecoming court, and we will crown a maid of honor and a homecoming queen. So you'll have that to look forward to.
So, in the intro, I cannot continue to be here.
Do what?
Mr. Merrill is coming.
Okay.
Is he there?
I'm assuming so, yeah. If he's not, it's no big deal. All right, is that good? Can you hear me?
Josh Cohen here alongside Coach Bryant and Coach Merrill to bring you live coverage of all of tonight's exciting high school football matchup between the Towers Titans and the Woodward Academy War Eagles. Tonight is homecoming night here at Woodward as alumni have returned to see tonight's action. Woodward faces a Towers team that has struggled mightily this season. The Titans were gone 0-6 thus far. Meanwhile, the War Eagles enter tonight's contest with a solid 4-2 record, and the team is coming off a big win on the road versus Decatur last week. Coach Bryant, what are you looking for in this game?
Well, I think this one's going to definitely be, it's hard not to be kind of cold, but Woodward should just absolutely dominate this game. Towers has not shown any ability in any of the games to have any type of offensive firepower. Their defense has been unable to stop every team they played. I think their average margin of victory is probably 30-plus points. And it's homecoming night here at Woodward Academy, and so, Woodward Academy's kind of hyped up for this game already. And so I think it's just going to be kind of a track meet, if you will. I think we'll see a lot of different players play. I think we will probably, don't know for certain, but I think it would be predominantly we're going to run the ball. Very little passing, I think. And, kind of preparing for the big showdown in a couple of weeks with St. Pius, and then the week after that with Cedar Grove. You don't want to look ahead, look ahead on any game, but I think that's what we're preparing for, and I think Coach Hunt is getting the troops ready.
I think, homecoming is historically supposed to be one of the softer games on the schedule, and, we obviously wouldn't be surprised to see that tonight. Again, this is a Woodward team that will respect any opponent. They're going to come out with all the big guns and try to put up points on the board. The defense is going to be hyped up homecoming night. Big crowd and everything, but this is a Towers team that I think you're right, just might not be able to produce enough offense unless they pull off something spectacular tonight. And like you said, it may not be a matter of winning or losing the game for Woodward because we're thinking that they can probably pull out the victory. But the bigger question is going to be, how are the fundamentals? How are the habits in this kind of game? You don't want to chalk it up and say, okay, it's a victory before they even kick off. But chances are, looking at Towers' track record and everything, this is a comfortable victory for Woodward. The biggest thing is offensively and defensively not getting into bad habits. And you mentioned a lot of maybe younger, more inexperienced players getting into the game, but at the same time, that definitely doesn't mean that a lot of things you've practiced and worked on need to just go out the window and say we're trying some things out. Because like you said, McNair next week, and then St. Pius and Cedar Grove after that. So a big couple of games coming up for the War Eagles. Right,
and even though not to put the cart before the horse, but again, what you don't want to see is Woodward have a sloppy win. And you want to take this opportunity to really work on your execution, really work on your fundamentals. And that's why I think we'll see a lot of running, not a lot of passing, is because Woodward needs to get the confidence in the running game. They need to get the confidence in the offensive line in executing well, making great reads, and you just don't want a sloppy win. I think even if Woodward does not play very well, I think they still are going to come out on top in this game. But you want to exit this game with incredible execution, and so I think that's going to be one of the messages that the coaching staff is going to give the players: execute well, execute, and let's build and get that confidence, because we're going to need. Josh, as well as I do, when we come up against St. Pius and we come up against Cedar Grove, execution is going to win the day there, and we need to get that confidence.
And that's actually senior night. That's on October 26th. And again, not to look ahead, but
Sure, that's right.
Okay, sorry about that interruption. We're just going to just confirm that Mr. Merrill will be joining us
a little bit later on.
Later on in the broadcast.
He's got some responsibilities that he needs to take care of before he can come up here in the booth, but he'll be up here shortly.
But
and a big homecoming week this week.
Definitely.
Not so much for you, Josh, but for old fogies like myself, it's great to see a lot of former students coming back, and Gosh, and how they have changed since they left high school. Well, here come the War Eagles, and they deferred the toss, so I think we're going to be kicking off, and we'll get it the second half.
Again, as you were saying, homecoming week haven't even kicked off, and there's already a huge crowd out here tonight. It's really good to see. The Towers away side over there hasn't exactly filled it up yet, but the War Eagles side of the stadium definitely packed, and fans just keep piling on in here. So definitely a big crowd. Again, maybe not expecting the closest of games, but it is nice to see everybody back, enjoying the homecoming festivities and rooting on their former team.
Yeah, and again, this is going to be, I was referring to it a little bit earlier, and maybe state it this way, this is going to be a pretty good test of Woodward's character, because this is a team that they should beat. They should beat the team soundly. And, are they going to be disciplined enough to do that? Are they going to be disciplined enough to execute at a high level? And this is a great test, I think, for Woodward's leadership, out there on the field, and also for the coaches. In athletics, there's a lot made of the fact, about coming from behind and winning. And you got to have that perseverance and that discipline to do so. But there's also the other side is you have to learn how to beat the opponents that you are supposed to beat. Mm-hmm. And and if you got them on the ropes, you gotta learn how to give them the roundhouse haymaker, and put them away. And we just don't want to beat them by a little bit. We want to beat them by a lot. And again, do we have the discipline to really, for lack of a better analogy, kind of stick the knife in and twist it, because you got to learn how to do that as well.
And something we've talked about in past games, is maybe you start out strong. That's such a key. Starting out strong, putting the opponent away early, but then maintaining that. You can't put up 48 points in the first half and then have a lax second half and technically lose the second half,
right.
Something like 14 or 21
exactly.
nothing, and still say, we still won the game by 30 points. You got to look at all 60 minutes.
Right.
Is really what they got to look at, because chances are defense, offense, everybody's going to come out just flying here in the first couple minutes and hopefully put some points up on the board. But we'll see as this game progresses, assuming it goes as we're expecting.
Right.
It'll be a real test, like you're saying, of their character to see how maybe some of the younger players step up, how Woodward maintains that level of consistency that we know is going to be so key as they're carrying into future games as we get set for kickoff here.
Yeah, and it turns out I was mistaken. We are going to receive the ball, I don't really have Coach Hunt hadn't really been here long enough, but I don't think he's ever one to run up the score, just to run up the score. And so I think when Woodward starts getting a comfortable lead, you're going to see, I think, a lot of second and third stringers come in. But those second and third stringers, this is their opportunity as well, and they need to show they can score. Oh, so my goodness, Power starts out with a squibbed kick, and thank goodness the thing goes out of bounds. That was a surprising play by Woodward Academy to back off that ball rather than jump on it.
That had gone 10 yards. That would have been a fair game as far as an onside kick, but Towers...
it did go 10 yards.
That certainly did. Certainly went 10 yards, and Towers didn't react to it quickly enough, and illegal procedure. Woodward will take over. Interesting there from Towers there to start this game.
Absolutely. It shows that they're coming out aggressive, and they're coming out here and trying to get the get the momentum on their side. And so Woodward comes out here in offense with Terry Guger at the quarterback.
And I think the mindset right there, nothing to lose. You're on the road, big game, you're a huge underdog. Nothing to lose right from kickoff. Wouldn't be surprised to see Towers doing stuff like that, maybe going for it on fourth down a lot, things like that in this game, because when you're a huge underdog on the road, you might have to pull out all stops.
Right, and just to show kind of maybe what we might be looking at the entire game, Towers' defense jumped offside there on, I guess, the hard count by Terry Guger, and so it's 1st and 5.
Guger hands off to Jawless Myrick, and the junior running back jumps to the outside, and there he goes to the 30-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
First play from scrimmage, and Jawless Myrick is going to score. First play of the game from scrimmage, and the junior running back, Jawless Myrick, scampers 46 yards for the score.
And 12 seconds have gone off the clock, and already first place, 7 points. Jollis Myrick doing a great job, a kind of a counter play, cutting it back to the left, and then he cuts it back to the right, takes it along the right side. And Steve Smith did a great job in making the last block, making that pivotal block, thus allowing Jollis Myrick to score. So, holy cow, Josh, here it goes.
Alex Robinson, the senior kicker, tacks on the extra point, and 12 seconds in, the War Eagles lead 7-0.
Has a 47-yard TD run, all on the ground. Great offensive line, way to build up a wall. Some great lanes for Jollis Myrick. Boy, it's just a super play. And so now Woodward is going to kick off. You know, no, in high school, you really can't schedule. It's kind of the luck of the draw who you get for your homecoming and things like that. And it just happens to be Towers this year. It could be St. Pius the year after that. Who knows? But these homecoming games are, lots of festivities going on. Of course, we had the homecoming parade yesterday, and we'll have the, I don't know what the right word is, coronation, I guess, of the homecoming queen.
Yes.
Homecoming king yesterday, and that was Calder Labriola, and I think his manservant in waiting was Austin Rourke, who's, of course, one of the starting linebackers. Whereas Alex Robson kicking it off straight down Main Street into the end zone. Automatic touchback.
Boy, I'll tell you, he has quite a leg, and he's been solid, really in all facets of kicking that we've seen him in this year. Punting, PATs, kickoffs, you name it. He's really Mr. Do-It-All for this Woodward kicking corps this year.
Right, and of course it's just not on the football field. He's also part of your state championship winning soccer team last year. Goalie, is that right?
Yes, he's goalkeeper. So obviously quite a good punter out there on the soccer field, and he was a key part of that state championship run, a key part of the team, and we'll be glad to have him back this year for his senior year. So 1st and 10. Towers now taking the field for the first time, their offense, that is. Handoff, and maybe a gain of a yard or two. It was Arrington Farrar.
Michael Vickers on the tackle for the loss.
On the tackle.
Speaking of Vickers, he is the defensive stat leader in tackles for loss. The big defensive end there, kind of a 3-year, I don't know if it's necessarily a 3-year starter, definitely a 2-year starter, that saw significant action his sophomore year as well. And so it's nice to see him stepping up and having some real good games. Brings up 2nd and 11. Kind of a power I formation for Towers, fullback and tailback.
Now slipping in the backfield.
Oh my goodness, Vickers right there, putting the pressure on.
It's a bit of a joint tackle there by
Right.
Michael Vickers and Graham Hickson.
Absolutely.
Of course, the famous turf, for other teams, the notorious turf that Woodward has. War Eagle players generally pretty accustomed to it, but other teams, I mean, how many teams have we seen come in this year and see quarterbacks and all kinds of players in the backfield just slipping? And there we see a loss of about 8 yards.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I know a lot of the Atlanta public schools, their stadiums have turf, but I don't know if it's the same type of natural turf we have, because it does seem to give our opponents fits, both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Well, shotgun formation, 3rd and about 20 or so. Rolls out, here comes
Brown
Carter
looking,
Johnson.
and it's caught. Jollis Myrick in on the tackle at about the 20-yard line, but
so we're seeing a little successful passing attack, and again, based on the Blessed Trinity game, that's kind of our Achilles heel. If we have one, it is problems we have with the secondary and the zone coverage in giving up the pass. Now, true is only a 10-yard gain, so it's still 4th and 10, but still you hate to give up anything.
Yeah, last home game we saw Blessed Trinity quarterback Spencer McManus come in here and throw 3 long touchdown passes to those Blessed Trinity receivers, and Woodward went on to lose the game, 21-14. But I think you're right. The three long passing scores that Woodward conceded were the Achilles heel in that game, and really have been all season. So again, we talk about fundamentals. We're going to be looking at this secondary,
Right.
this secondary, and even in that situation, and as this game progresses, making sure they don't get too lax and allow even a short completion like that one.
Right. And I know that, defensive side, they've been working on that the past couple weeks, and they've made some personnel adjustments, bringing in Benji Russell to do some cornerback work and moving Steve Smith and Arrington Farrar around a little bit. But Woodward begins its second possession after maybe about a 25, 26-yard punt by Towers.
And in Titans territory already, Gujar looking, throwing, and it's caught across the middle. That was the big tight end, A.J. Cole.
Boy, just set up there. Nice route by A.J. there. Very nice throw by Terry Gujar. Throws it across the middle. Good coverage by Towers. Good completion. Picks up a first down. Tell you, a little bit shocked, I'll be honest with you, that they're throwing the ball, but with success. So that's a good thing. Ethan Frank coming out, the center, senior center.
Also got Austin Phillips, the junior fullback. There in the backfield with Gujar. Sends Connor Pilch in motion, and he will hand it off to Pilch. Pilch has a big hole to the left. Connor Pilch to the 15-yard line.
Oh!
And he is tripped up at about the 13-yard line, but a big gainer there for Connor Pilch.
Yeah, broke a big tackle there about the 19, 18-yard line. Was able to get away, but just tripped up by the Towers defender. But Connor picked up a big gain on that sweep out to the left.
I think that's one of the best things we've seen really from these Woodward receivers is how versatile they are. How many times do we see Connor Pilch and Kyle Hawkins, who's actually injured right now, but coming in on those end arounds and all kinds of jet sweeps and all those kinds of plays. So getting some rushing stats in there as well, and they've looked very good. So there we saw a big gain, and 1st and 10.
Timeout by Towers. But you're exactly right. Looking at the number of people that we have that Woodward so far has had running the ball, in addition to maybe Terry Gujar, but including Terry Gujar, we got Josh Myrick, Austin Phillips, Terry, of course, Kyle Hawkins before he was injured, saw some action there rushing. Steve Smith, seen most of the action on the defensive side of the ball. He's rushed for 6 or so times. Connor Pilch, 11 times. Benji Russell, Jess Sutherland, Quincy Wolf, Malcolm Twyman, Kai Glencross, Jameel Spencer even had a chance to carry the ball. And I know that's part of Coach Hunt's game plan, to get as many people in there, as many bodies in there, to give them exposure and say, when they need somebody, they got the experience to go. And likewise on the passing side of the ball, Kyle Hawkins, A.J. Cole, Connor Pilch, Benji Russell, Quincy Wolf, Malcolm Twyman, Austin Phillips, all have seen action receiving the ball. And so again, I think that's in a tight situation, in a close game, that will work to our advantage one day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not quite 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 at about the 12-yard line. Gujar lining up under center.
That
Back
four receiver
pass.
set looking, throwing, and
Connor
it's caught
Pilch.
by Connor Pilch.
Get in there, baby. Yes, sir. Touchdown. Connor Pilch on the pass. 12-yard pass. Connor Pilch.
That'll make it 13-0 War Eagles. Connor Pilch, touchdown reception, and this Woodward attack, especially this passing attack early on, has looked pretty potent so far, and moving down the field with ease.
Right. Yeah, I've not totaled it up, but I would imagine our average yard from scrimmage has got to be 11 or 12 right now.
Mm-hmm. Robinson splits the uprights. 14-0 War Eagles. 8:27 left in the first quarter.
If it keeps going like this, Alex Robinson may break a sweat from running out there on the field and kicking kickoffs and kicking field goals. And, I wouldn't expect him to, I think it'd be a kind of a bizarre set of offensive plays if we end up punting the ball, at least in the first half. And I think it is going to be a good game from a homecoming standpoint, because I think we are going to see a lot of people see some action. Mm-hmm. Get some PT in there, and that's a good thing. You want those games to energize the second and third string who's just used to standing on the sideline, wanting to get in but really not ever getting the opportunity. And this game is going to offer that opportunity. So it's going to be good to see some of these younger kids get in there and see what it's like to actually play the game as opposed to do it in practice.
It's true. Very, very different in that game environment. Robinson to kick off, and this is a line drive. Another one crosses the plane, and
again, automatic touchback on that play. So the Woodward offense comes in, Woodward defense for its second possession. Pretty much 3 and out on the last possession, so we'll see if Woodward can. But again, Towers a little bit surprising. They had a 10-yard completion to a little kind of an out pattern where they picked up 10 yards on a third down play. And so we'll see if we're able to tighten it up a little bit. Carter Johnson and Josh Myrick out there on the corners.
Just watching Towers in the warm-ups and everything, they've got some speedy, some athletic receivers. So again, haven't put up huge points this season, but definitely have to be aware of that. Here's Brown looking, throwing, and it's caught. That was big number 28. And that is...
Yeah, it's about a 5-yard gain. Carter Johnson very much on the big kind of corner blitz there and timed it perfectly, but the quarterback was able to release the ball to number 28, who was kind of open. But picked up about a 4-yard gain, I guess, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 6. And it looks like this is going to be Towers' game plan to come out of the shotgun and roll their quarterback out to try and create some lanes that he can throw into and maybe pull it down and run. Drop
Brown
it straight
on
back
second
this
down,
time.
Throwing nearly intercepted.
Almost.
That was Benji Russell.
Sure. Benji Russell getting a great break on the ball. And you hate to see Benji Russell miss a interception because he's on offense. And you always want to see them catch the ball. So, but it's thrown a little bit high with a little bit of heat and just sailed through his hands. But again, you got to give Towers credit. I mean, they're coming out here and they're trying to move the ball.
Well, this is 3rd and 6, certainly manageable for the Titans.
Back into an I formation here. And Towers takes its second time out. Second time out. Must be some confusion on the line as to what the play was, as to what the defense was doing. But as careful as the players got to be in this game, the coaches have to be careful as well. There's probably a tendency for them to look at this Towers team and get look at the scores that Towers has put up against their opponents, or the scores that they haven't put up against their opponents. And, they got to be careful about thinking to themselves, well, I really have to think about this game. I really don't have to break down the defense with as much detail as I normally would, or the offense as I normally would. And so the coaches got to make sure they're on their game as well. And that's, that's the other job of a head coach. It's not only to make sure that the players are motivated and doing their best work, but also to make sure that the coaches are motivated and doing their best work, and that they're not taking anything for granted as well.
And so much of it is the preparation, the habits on the field, but also off the field. And I don't think there's much question that Coach Hunt had them focused before this game. And that is a huge hit there. That was
broken up by, I think, Carter Johnson.
Number 10, Malik Santa for the Titans.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, Josh, but for Carter Johnson being there underneath the route, kind of sitting underneath the route, that would have been a first down. So, but Woodward's defense holds, and again, 3 and out, brings up 4th and 6, and Towers back to punt. And they're punting from about the 25-yard line, and we've got Myrick and Austin Phillips there on the 50. So they're expecting about a 20-yard punt, and we've got a flag, or what do we got here?
Got a flag down. Play's called dead before the Titans got the punt off.
Oh.
And he'll be moving back.
Illegal procedure from, it's going to now make it 4th and 11. But 3 penalties so far in this game, all of them on Towers, and all of them procedure penalties. On the kickoff, and then their first defensive offsides, and now an illegal procedure. Very short punt.
End over end punt, and it'll just kind of die at about the 32-yard line. Woodward with outstanding field position to start this drive.
Absolutely. And again, this and right here we're up 14-0, and barely not even 5 minutes have passed in the game. 4.5 minutes have passed in the game, and this is where we're talking at the beginning of the game. This is where the discipline kicks in, and this is where you've got to get focused and you've got to keep your execution up. Because it doesn't take but one mistake, and this could be a 14-7 game. So Woodward again has to keep the pressure on themselves.
Pressure coming. Gujar escapes it, throwing to
Russell.
Benji Russell across the middle, and he gets to the 25-yard line. And a solid tackle there by Malik Santa, who we just saw on the offensive side of the ball, takes Russell down at about the 25. But a good play there, a little underneath route from Russell.
Boy, he was wide open too. It's going to be very close to a first down. We'll see what they do. They're going to mark it short.
Just shy.
We'll bring up second in, maybe a foot or so. 6:55 left. Woodward up 14-0. Scoring on a 47-yard TD run by Myrick, and followed up by a 12-yard TD pass to Connor Pilch.
So 2nd and inches here. Gujar will drop back to pass. Looking, throwing, and Benji Russell could not come down with it in the end zone.
Boy, threw into double coverage. A dangerous throw there. But a good throw. Benji was able to get his hands on it, but got to be a little careful there, Mr. Gujar.
Yeah, that was
throwing into double coverage.
I was certainly teetering on the brink of putting a little bit too much faith in your receiver to come down with it. Certainly Russell, outstanding hands, great physical skill set as well. Gujar there, a bit of a dangerous pass, but 3rd and inches now, tight on the line. Steve Smith in motion, and they'll fake the pitch to him, and they'll go to Jollis Myrick. A great play to the 20-yard line, back across the middle, and he's taken down at about the 18-yard line.
Good little counter trap there, trying to capitalize on maybe the overplay of the Towers defense. And I'm just noting that Brandon Johnson is in for center for Ethan Frank, and I'm wondering if maybe something's up with Ethan. Norma's starting center. Looking on the sideline, seeing if I can see anything, and can't just yet. But anyway, Woodward 1st and 10 at the 19.5 or 18.5-yard line.
Gujar looking, pressure coming again.
Oh, he's got him wide open!
Benji Russell could not come down with it. Maybe a bit of a distraction there as
he was covered fairly well.
Towers defender was coming in. Yeah, decent coverage there.
It looked as almost the ball was kind of tipped up, and we can't tell from this angle, but Benji could have might have had a second chance at that ball.
That was Torrance Marable on the coverage, and
Gujar back in the shotgun, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout here for Woodward, as Coach Hunt brings the team over.
Well, but I've got to say, I've liked our willingness to go to the air. We were expecting the ground game a whole lot. Early and often, just pounding the ball. And, first play from scrimmage was a touchdown run by Jollis Myrick, and I kind of thought that was just going to start a flood of running from us. But really, Gujar's dropped back a couple times, had a couple really good completions.
Oh, yeah.
To several receivers, and the passing attack has looked good here.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the second possession where we scored, on that 12-yard TD pass. That was a passing possession, and it looks like we're returning to that. So, Coach Hunt, this is something new for the Woodward offense. I can tell you, after being here for so many years, we've never passed as much in these past 2 years as in the previous 10 that I've been here, and so he's definitely making a commitment to the pass.
Second and 10 now. Gujar has Quincy Wolf in the backfield. He'll look and
batted down.
batted down at the line. Some of the Towers players diving on it, but it's blown dead. Bring up 3rd down and 10 to go. 5:59 left in the first quarter. Goodger's getting the word from Coach Hunt here on a 3rd and long situation. You'd figure Woodward will have to go to the air again here.
Yeah, no need to run now. So Goodger, yeah, back in the shotgun with Quincy Wolf there in the tailback position.
Goodger drops back, stepping up in the pocket now, and he's got time. Quincy Wolf, Terry Goodger gets to about the 8-yard line there.
2 flags coming in at the end.
He had Quincy Wolf downfield, as well as Jawless Meyer. He had several offensive players downfield, but he decided to take it himself. And he got to about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, we got 3 flags, so you wondered if they may got the block in the back. I mean, you're thinking with that many flags down there that it might be, because I didn't see anything like a face mask, but that doesn't mean it happened. Yeah, coming back, blocking the back. And that's the danger, you know, when you get a quarterback out there and starts hitting the sidelines, that the receivers just turn around and they try and put their hat on somebody. And everybody's running around, and that hat oftentimes ends up in somebody's back or on the wrong side of the rib cage.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it's a spot foul, so it just brings up 3rd and 11, so still a very manageable 3rd down possession for us.
Goodger again. They don't have to put it in the end zone here. Just have to get to the first down marker and blown dead again.
Defense. And so we'll get 5 of them back right there.
Seen a couple of careless penalties from Towers here early on. That discipline on the defensive line has been lacking a bit. And Woodward, as you said, will get those 5 yards back, and they'll make it a 3rd and 6.
Well, you know, defensive lineman, you're trained to just go on the movement of the ball, not on the sound of anybody's voice and things like that. But that's it's a hard thing to pull off in high school because you hear the voice and you kind of go with that.
Goodger looking, got time and throws high. He had Benji Russell there, he threw it way over his head, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Goodger had all day long the offensive line doing a great job in giving Goodger a pocket and also giving him lanes with which to tuck it and scoot up the middle. Kind of surprised on that play that he didn't take it himself and charge right up field. But here comes Alec Robinson to try a 31-yard field goal. A little bit of a high snap there.
It's up and...
Ooh. What? Oh, my goodness.
He just squeezed it inside.
It must have.
Right
it must have. Cause, gosh, I thought that was wide right. You know, but I'm trying to think I don't know if I've seen him miss yet.
You know what? I think you're right. Not at a home game, at least. We have not seen him. Exactly. We have not seen him miss an extra point or a field goal this season. So he's certainly been solid kicking the ball, and that'll make it 17-0 Woodward. About 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Yeah,
31-yard field goal. Woodward now scoring on his first 3 possessions. Touchdown, great 47-yard run by Jawless Myrick. First play from scrimmage. And then we follow that up with our second possession, 12-yard pass to Connor Pilch. Sure. Okay. No. I mean, I'm showing we're hooked in. Sorry for the delay there, folks. We had what we thought was a technical issue, but turns out it wasn't a technical issue. So Woodward kicks off, and well, we were kind of out of sync here. I guess Towers held on their first play from scrimmage, and so it's going to be second and roughly 25, 23. So got Towers backed up to their own 6-yard line. Woodward defense, Jamil Spencer there, Austin Rourke there.
Brown will hand off.
Gets absolutely nowhere. In fact, loses a yard.
That
Looks like Austin Rourke and Ben Walker on the play. So brings up second and again about 20, well now 24. You know, except for the passing attacks, a passing attack, Towers just not having any success running the ball. Their offensive line just not able to handle the Woodward defensive line and linebackers. And here we go straight up the field again, and there we are to meet him in the hole. And again, maybe another 1-yard loss. Everybody piling in on that play.
That was the big man, number 32, Glenn Jackson, carrying the ball for the Titans.
Yeah, some good fundamental reads going on the defense, stepping up, and you like to see when the linebackers and the cornerbacks are coming up and stepping up, square into the hole, and taking on the blockers and letting everybody kind of come in and support and make the tackle. That was definitely one of those team tackles. Angel Green looking to defensive end on the right side. It's good to see him seeing some action. He was out earlier in the season.
Brown now looking in his own end zone, airs it out, and
that one is intercepted. All right, Benji Russell
comes down with it, and he's going to return this too to the 20, to the 10.
Come on, Benji, get it in there, baby. There you go. Defensive touchdown. Good job, Benji Russell. Taking it up the sideline, about a 45-yard TD.
Well, he can beat you on offense, he can beat you on defense. Benji Russell there showing some great hands to pick it off at about the 45-yard line, then returns it that distance for the touchdown.
Absolutely. Boy, and I tell you, he had to fight for the ball, and he just muscled it away from the Towers receiver because it was a well-thrown ball, hit everybody in stride, but Benji just was like all over him. And unlike the his first opportunity, he didn't let this one go. Boy, and I tell you, just great heads-up play by Benji to turn it upfield. Got great field vision, which, of course, is, he develops as a wide receiver on the offense and takes it into to pay dirt. So Woodward goes up 24-0, 2:47 left in the first quarter. So, Josh, we've scored running, we've scored passing, we've scored on the defensive interception. We've got a field goal. What do we got left? We got a fumble recovery for a TD. Hadn't done that one yet.
No, could get a safety.
Safety.
Put up 2 points, yeah.
Right, maybe a blocked punt. All right.
But I've liked the energy.
Absolutely.
The score, we weren't too concerned about the score coming into this game, 24-0, with still 2:47 left in the first quarter. Kind of what we expected, but the War Eagle players still look fired up. They still look energized, and
right.
It's been good so far. It's looked really, really sharp so far, and that's what's the most important in a game like this.
Right. And we'll see again. We get that. Got to keep our discipline though. Got to keep our focus. And we got something going on here. Not sure what's happening. Arrington Farrar kind of dancing a little bit out there.
Back deep to return, Aaron Mead.
Huge punt, kick again into the end zone. Automatic touchback. And so Towers will take over at the 20, their own 20-yard line with 2:47 left. The defense coming back on the field after that huge interception by Benji Russell. Towers going for it at all, though. They were going for the big score on that pass play. They weren't just trying to pick up the first down. They're trying to pick up a TD. Pretty impressive quarterback. He's able to put some heat on that ball. He's able to get it. That was a 30-yard throw, and he was able to put it right there where it needed to be.
Again, it was an excellent throw. Benji Russell just outmuscled the receiver, but that was certainly a well-thrown ball, and Andre Brown has certainly shown some good play here early on, the quarterback for Towers, and that'll be a net 0-yard gain, still about the 20-yard line. I'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Titans.
Bounced it outside, but again, our backside support, the cornerback's coming up and the outside linebacker's coming up to make the tackle for a no gain. But Towers, again, at least on the passing play, they're doing a good job of protecting their quarterback. Their quarterback has he's getting pressure, no doubt about that. But he's having enough time to get the ball where it needs to be.
And again, we saw this, especially in that Fayette County game here a couple weeks ago. He is one of the smallest players on the field. Andre Brown, their quarterback.
Sure is.
Very impressive. Seen over that big O-line. Some of those linemen, I wouldn't be surprised if they're 6'3", 6'4". And this time Brown will keep it himself, tucks it and runs and going nowhere. But tell you what, he's getting hit pretty hard and he's bouncing right back up.
Yeah, he was wrapped up pretty good there by Bunbury and Quincy Wolf and Vickers and everybody else. Just that play right there was kind of an option, but it was a busted play. The tailback wasn't trailing, so really the quarterback just had to eat the ball then. And it looks like Towers calls their 3rd and final timeout. And I tell you, as a head coach, you don't ever want to burn your 3rd timeout in the first quarter. But that's what we've got here with Towers. 1:29 left in the first quarter. Here at Woodward's 2012 homecoming. And I'll tell you, for those of you who are listening, your recollection of homecoming, this was by far, I think, the largest parade I've ever seen. That Woodward's homecoming, and not only, and it was great. Not only was it just wasn't an upper school event. They had floats from the Woodward North folks, from the lower school, from the primary school, from the middle school and the middle school football team to the middle school clubs. Technology, Woodward's IT department had some floats and throwing candy out and stuff like that. And the facility service decorated one of their vans with a chef hat. And it was quite neat. But it's great to see that everybody was involved, and it just made it so much more special, I think. And we had it through the bull ring as opposed to out here on the football field, which we've had in years past. People were up front and people got close, and so it was just a more enjoyable time.
There's Andre Brown throwing long again and out of bounds. That was number 10, Malik Santa again. His favorite target, but he was out of bounds, couldn't come down with it.
Quincy Wolf on the coverage there. But again, the thing to take away from this that you better pay attention to is he's rolling out and he's putting the ball into play. And so our secondary needs to, even though we're up 24-0, you do not want to give up a cheap touchdown on this Towers team, because it's one of those things everybody's going to know. Who's busted busted their coverage. But Towers back to punt again and a little bit better punt this time.
Jollis Myrick fields it at the 45, and he's got space. Jollis Myrick
he's
the
got
35,
a wall. It's a
and
touchdown.
He's got loads of space.
See what? Oh, my goodness!
Taken down by number 15. A great play by Kelly Billups there.
Yeah, Ben Walker just couldn't get his body in the right place and to shield Jollis Myrick. Elsewise, it was just a walk-in touchdown. But unable to get his body in the right place and seal off the wall, and so Josh Meyer taken down at the 6-yard line.
Well, that last-ditch tackle by Billups may have saved the touchdown, but now we talk about field position. This is Woodward starting pretty much first and goal. So
yeah, first and goal at the 6-yard line. And there's Ethan Frank back in at the center position. Goodger back up under center. Pilch and Phillips kind of in the slot spread. Steve Smith coming back. Big pitch to Steve Smith.
And he's got the edge. Touchdown. Went nearly untouched. Steve Smith, the running back / wide receiver / defensive back, such a key component of this offense and defense. He gets the pitch, runs for about 6 yards for the touchdown, 30-0, and Robinson trots out to tack on the extra point.
Yeah, there's 57 seconds left again in the first quarter, and Woodward's up, fixing to go up 31-0, 30-0 right now. Kind of assuming that Robinson's is Mr. Automatic here.
Goodger the hold, and
up and away.
Perfect again.
G-U-D, good. And so Woodward's taking a first quarter lead here. It looks like it you know, I don't know. At least it's going to be 31-0. We'll see what happens. You know, and you kind of wonder, and I'm not, you know, just an observation, but you got to wonder, you know, when you start looking at the Towers and seeing, you know, kind of how they react.
Exactly.
And if they're just going to maybe just give up from this point forward, or, you know, how much are they going to fight? This is a good test for them and their own resolve.
Certainly as much of a test of Woodward's character, you know, maintaining the lead and all that kind of thing. It's just, this is a Towers team that has lost all 6 games this season and has lost by a fair margin. So you wonder, you know, we're going to get to see here firsthand whether they're going to fight for all 60 minutes or down 31-0. First quarter's not even over. Whether they kind of throw in the towel here. So we'll really see as much of a test of Towers' character. Here with still 3 quarters to play. I think you're exactly right with that.
In Towers, it looks like they have maybe, I don't know, 35 people on the team. They don't have a very big team, and but they got a fair number of fans. I'll give them credit there. You know, they got a decent crowd over there on the visiting side of the field. Well, here's Robinson kicking it off, and this one's going to be a little bit, but okay,
this one will
bringing
be
it out.
This is Damon Hassel. And
Connor Pilch dragging him down about the 8-9 yard line. I thought his back foot might have crossed the end zone line, but it didn't. And so Towers is going to take over 1st and 10 on the 9-yard line. Great coverage.
Well, I'm thinking Damon Hassel there had wished his foot had crossed over as well. He only got about 8 yards there before he was smothered. Probably should have just let it go into the end zone. But Towers here. See if they're unfazed by that. 1st and 10, starting on their own 8, and a long, long field here to work with. Andre Brown, the quarterback. He's also got 2 in the backfield. Andre Brown looking, and
boy, I tell you, just a great tackle, and I think that's Quincy Wolf coming up and making the big hit on the little kind of quick screen there off to the right side. Throws him for a 3 or 4 yard loss. But illegal procedure penalty on Towers, and I would think we would decline this penalty because, again, there was about a 4 yard loss. Yeah. And so we decline the penalty. It's going to bring up 2nd and 14 or so.
And, you know, this goes for a lot of players, you know, on this Woodward defense. But when I look at a player like Quincy Wolf, the word that comes to mind is just instincts. I mean, just ball instincts. I mean, no sooner had the ball just left Andre Brown's, you know, hand, and Quincy Wolf was already making the tackle. I mean, he's there all the time. Here we see him jumping up to the line. Wow. Such a cerebral football player.
That might have been a safety.
This might be a safety. We were talking about the safety earlier.
Maybe they're not marking it, but boy, it's got to be kind of close. But you're right, Josh, and we've talked about this in years past. You know, there's all kinds of intelligence. You know, there's people who are math smart. There are people who are music smart. There's people who are funny smart. but there's also athletically smart. And, that's one good thing about Woodward. We have a very intelligent student body here, and therefore we have a very intelligent football team. And they just are able to see things quicker and process things better. And as a result, get good results.
That concludes the first quarter of action. Woodward with a commanding 31-0 lead here over the Towers Titans.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be third and along the ball's it looks about to be about the 2-yard line, maybe the 3-yard line. And so we're going to change ends of the field and come down toward the concession stand part of the field where Towers will take over third and long, and Woodward's defense and Coach Vandergriff is telling them, okay, we got him back, but don't relax. Don't relax. And this is where I think, the senior leadership really comes out to play is in situations like this, because everybody, the defense and the offense both know that this one's going in the W column. And the temptation is to get out here and start having fun and start relaxing and just goofing off and, not trying as hard as you might otherwise try. And
yep.
I hope we don't do that. We're still going with our starters. We still got Bunbury in there and Vickers in there and Carter Johnson and Austin Rourke and Jamil Spencer. And there's Vickers, and this is going to be a save.
Ooh,
no, he got away. Oh. Holy cow.
Well,
are they saying fumble?
Now Woodward's saying they jumped on it.
And the refs are saying they did indeed.
Oh, wow.
So a fumble recovery. Okay, boy, we had him wrapped up at least a yard and a half in the end zone. The Towers guy, to his credit, fought his way out, picked up about 5 yards, and then fumbled the ball. And Woodward takes over the fumble recovery. Not sure who got that fumble recovery, but that was a big defensive stop there.
That was Sterling Pate there who fumbled for the Titans. And again, a great effort to prevent the safety, but at the same time, how many times do we see players fighting for the extra yard?
Right.
And ending up coughing up the football as we saw there. So now Woodward will take over first and goal again.
Again, we got the starters in there, so Coach Hunt is keeping the pressure up.
Gujar's got to pass, and it's caught. Touchdown, War Eagles.
Isaiah Matthews, all right, number 20. Student Council President. First touchdown of the year. Nice to see that happen. Isaiah Matthews lining up kind of in the slot, and then just did a slow drag across the middle just underneath the linebackers, and Gujar delivered that with pinpoint precision. And so we pick up a 5-yard TD touchdown.
Yeah, you're right. Gujar really threaded the needle there. He made that look a lot easier than it was, and Isaiah Matthews ran a good route across the middle. Now it's 38-0.
And we're barely into the second quarter, 20 seconds into the second quarter, and we score another touchdown. There's kind of I don't know if it's a kind of an unwritten rule in high school football, and I think also in college football, that you don't pull your starters until at least the second possession of the second half. That the starters play the first half regardless of what the score is, because again, you want to build their confidence up, you want to build their teamwork up, you want them to have this common bond of success, this shared this community that you're trying to build, this chemistry you're trying to build on the football team.
Yep.
So, but I think we are starting to see some subs on the kickoff, the kickoff team. Start to see some youth, some faces in there. We got some hands people in there though. You got Connor Pilch and Carter Johnson over there, but I think with Robinson kicking it in the end zone, just get these young people some Some exposure under the big lights. Put him in the big game. This is going to be short, so this one's going to be returned. Now, he was, holy. All right.
That was
Chase him out of bounds.
That was a decent return there by number 6, Damon Hassel.
I tell you, there was a very, very short kick by Alex Robinson. Not so sure if that was intentional or just a missed hit. But I'll tell you, he came running up that ball, and he was kind of flapping his arm out. And I was wondering if the refs might call a fair catch on that, but they let the play happen. So the best field position for Towers all night. Previous to this, the furthest they got was the 20-yard line, and now they're on the 25, starting on the 25.
Andre Brown has Torrance Marable in the backfield, and he's got Hassel out to his right at receiver. Brown looking to his left, throwing, and it's caught. Caught across the middle, and Austin Rourke with a huge hit.
Yeah, that was a well-delivered pass. Again, we're playing soft coverage now, just kind of not letting anything get behind us. We'll give up the short route underneath, which was, in this case, maybe a 5-yard gain.
And that was Malik Santa again for the Titans, and he's looked like their biggest threat so far, at least in the passing game.
So it's going to be 2nd and 5. Looks like Towers has just gone to a straight passing attack from this point forward.
Brown looking, pumps
Pump
to his
fake,
right,
brings
he's
it
going to
up.
step up, tucks it and runs, and Austin Rourke and Jameel Spencer in pursuit, but it's Steve Smith who drives him back.
Wow. Are they going to they're going to give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I tell you, just the Towers quarterback certainly had some running room, but he's just not fast enough to hit that corner and get past Jameel Spencer, Steve Smith, and Quincy Wolf, and they were able to bring it down for a no gain. Looked like he might have been able to pick up the first down for a moment there, but he cut it back toward the sideline, and that allowed, again, Jameel, Steve, and Quincy to come up and make the hit. So 3rd and 5. Again, Woodward up, and looks like we may have the Towers people are clapping, so oh my goodness. Wow. 5-yard penalty, but it's still going to be just a hair short of a first down. No, they're going to go ahead and let Towers have the first down. So Towers gets their first down of the game here 2 minutes into the second quarter. And brings up 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, and there's another flag. I wonder what's going on here. Illegal procedure by Towers. So what we giveth, they taketh away. And again, that's just the discipline, issues coming in with the not sure who moved there, if it was the offensive line or maybe one of the receivers. But it brings up 1st and 15.
Bit of a setback there for Towers, but
got a different quarterback in there now.
Mm-hmm. And he'll tuck it and run, and this slips at about the 32-yard line, and that looked like it might have been a designed run there to the halfback, a little draw.
Yeah.
Try to catch the defense off guard. That was Aaron Mead in there.
And he got down there. He looked like he had got some running room, but then the Woodward defense started to close on him, and he kind of he slipped, quote unquote, slipped and fell down. But only picked up about 2, maybe 3 yards on that play. And they got him back again in quarterback as well. I mean, 7-yard drop for the quarterback. That's a big drop. Back to pass this time.
Looking,
flings
throwing
it out. Oh, did it so! My goodness, Connor Pilch and Carter Johnson and Arrington Farrar, everybody had a shot at that ball, and that would have been a pick 6.
Without question. He was looking for Damon Hassel, but, I mean, we could hardly see Hassel from up here in the box. I just saw 3 red shirts in there, and I thought Pilch or Carter Johnson were going to come down with that one.
Yep.
And
I tell you, when he first released the ball, I thought, oh, my God, he has sailed this one into the stands. I thought he really flung it out high, but it was in play.
Well, he's going to stay in the game.
Yeah, brings up 3rd and long, and I think that he's in the game just to give him another weapon in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, here's another flag. Illegal procedure. And it's on the right side. It must be on the right side of the line. It's on the right side of the ball at least, because it's this. It's the ref closest to the press box that's throwing the flag. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 18 or so. The ball's at the 27-yard line, and now we're back with the starting quarterback.
Andre Brown.
Big blitz coming.
Throwing long, and
Connor Pilch has got an interception. Okay,
Pilch.
Connor, come on. Take it up. Use your wheels. Use your wheels.
To the 40, to
He's
the 35.
still going.
He's still going.
He's still going.
Connor Pilch.
Oh, they're saying he stepped out of bounds. Saying he stepped out of bounds. It looks at about the 28-yard line. Okay, yeah, the Towers quarterback had, again, they're going for the big kill, about a 30-yard kind of post route here, and he overthrew him, and Connor Pilch was able to pick it off on the run, take it up the right side of the field, up the right sideline for probably a 35, 40-yard interception return. And they say he stepped out of bounds on the 27-yard line. Referee giving Woodward a sideline warning. And this is where, again, you got to stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to stub your toe here. Still got Jack Bryant and Austin Torres.
Well, after the heads-up play by defensive back Connor Pilch to return that one, about 30 yards on the interception, 1st and 10 for the War Eagles in Titans territory, and they'll pitch it to Malcolm Twyman, and he's got the edge. Malcolm Twyman to the 20-yard line, and he'll scamper to about the 15-yard line. Malcolm Twyman, an excellent running back for this War Eagle offense that we see in quite a few sets at receiver and running back, and he got a big gain there.
Yeah, and I tell you what I liked about that run is Twyman was coming up the sideline, left side of the sideline, and he could have easily gone out of bounds, but he kept his feet inbound and tried to get a couple more yards out of it. And you like to see that effort. That's effort. That's what you like to see out of these guys. The easy thing would have been just to kind of trot out of bounds, but he tried to go for another couple of yards.
We've got Jess Sutherland now, the
Twyman coming back.
Twyman, and tripped up at about the 3 or 4 yard line.
Nice tackle by Towers there. Twyman kind of realizing he only had one man to beat, and he was going to take him straight up.
We've got Jess Sutherland, the sophomore backup quarterback, to Terry Guger in the game now.
All right.
So with about 8:10 left in the first half, Coach Hunt not afraid to put the backup in. We've seen Sutherland do some good things.
Sure.
So may not get to see him pass here, but probably see quite a bit more of him in this game. Got Austin Phillips, the fullback, in the game, and he will hand it off to Twyman, and this play is blown up in the backfield. They're trying to strip it.
Wow, they are indeed. They're tugging hard. They're tugging hard at that ball. I think Coach Hunt wants to let Michael Twyman get a touchdown here. So far it's been 3 plays, and number 33, his number's been called every time. So it's going to bring up 2nd and goal from the ball's at about the 7-yard line, maybe the 8-yard line.
Also have Marcus Hyatt, sophomore wide receiver, in the game.
Well, I think we're throwing this time. I think we're going to give Jess Sutherland see his first. Nope. We'll pitch it out to Michael Twyman.
And
wow,
wrapped up.
Wow, great tackle by the blitzing linebacker for Towers, and is able to kind of pull Twyman down. It's almost a horse collar tackle.
Yep.
But another loss. Ford Woodward there. Clock running, now 6:45 left in the second quarter. Woodward up 38-0. Scoring so far pretty much every way you can think of the score. A football game, offense, defense, run, pass, interception. Sutherland is going to throw this time. Blitz.
Throwing,
delivers it to Ozzie Bunbury.
Bunbury across the middle, and he's taken down. They were trying to strip him again.
I think no one was more surprised that Ozzie Bunbury caught the ball than Ozzie Bunbury. He turned around and he wasn't sure where he was. He wasn't sure who was coming from what direction, and they were able to get him though. But a fine effort, going to bring up fourth and going to bring out Alex Robinson again to try looks to be a 22-yard field goal. Straight up the middle, should be again pretty much automatic for the senior kicker. That's the second high snap we've had on those field goals. And but Robinson again was able to put it through, 22-yard field goal, bringing the score up to 41-0 with 5:42 left in the second quarter.
Well, good to see sophomore quarterback Jess Sutherland there
Yeah.
get a pass under his belt. I think that definitely takes a lot of pressure off. A young quarterback, a lot of weight probably taken off his shoulders there. Get a completion. It might not have been enough for the first down, but you get a completion, and all of a sudden, next drive we see him out there. He might have a little more swagger, a little more confidence to his game, and we'll see how much Coach Hunt has him throwing the football. But he's looked good whenever we've seen him. Preseason scrimmage against GAC, he got quite a bit of time. And I'll tell you what, he carries himself like a quarterback. You look at him, his mannerisms, his form. He's a very impressive young player. And learning under Terry Guger, certainly a lot to expect from Sutherland in the years to come. Robinson to kick off.
Well, that was in the end zone. But I tell you what I like about Jess Sutherland, and to be honest with you, maybe like to see him get a little bit more playing time just from this perspective. Last year when we had both Terrence Phillips and Terry Guger, the lethal combination that we had was Terrence Phillips at quarterback and Guger at wide receiver, slot, wide receiver, whatever. That was a lethal combination because Guger has such a physical presence and such a big body out there that he made an unbelievable target. And so my point is that if we can get Jess Sutherland perhaps a little bit more comfortable in the quarterback spot, maybe we bring him in and we bring Guger in a slot or wide receiver form position. And boy, I tell you, then things change.
Definitely. We did see that, like you said, last year. Here Towers on 1st and 10, and the run is stopped. But you were saying, we saw that.
On the stop
we
there.
saw that so often last year, especially in the red zone.
Oh yeah.
Terrence Phillips could just throw it up, and Terry Guger would come down with it. It's such a mismatch, and especially in high school football, you can really say a wide receiver is unguardable. You got Guger at 6'5", just towering over, defenders, and in this case, we might see. Guger getting recruited by, as a wide receiver by a lot of schools, and understandably so. But I think you're right. I think we could see. I think it would be interesting to see Jess Sutherland in there as a quarterback. Because last year, like you said, Terrence Phillips to Terry Guger was great, and here's a completion across the middle.
Connor Pilch making a big hut. That was a tight throw. He threaded the needle there and was able to get the good concentration for the Towers receiver to bring that in and pick up a first down. So again, we were talking a little bit earlier, Josh. How is Towers going to react to this score? They're going to tuck their head between their legs and their tails and kind of just, mail it in from here. But it looks like they're stepping up, and they're going to fight to the end. And that's a sign of good coaching right there.
Mm-hmm.
So all applause goes to the Towers coaching staff for keeping their kids, motivated in a positive way.
First down and 10 here. Brown looking pressure coming, and he gets smacked.
Benji Russell. Is that right? No, that wasn't Benji.
Big number 43 for the War Eagles. Tommy Bryan.
Tommy Bryan.
The linebacker, only a sophomore.
Absolutely. He got his start in my homeroom his freshman year. I took him under my wing. Gave him some words of encouragement. He wasn't sure if he's going to be a good football player, and I said, "You are." They're waving off a flag on that play, but we had a big blitz coming in on that play. That's the first, second sack of the game. The first sack was also contributed by again Graham Hickson Field, but this one was outright Tommy Bryan coming in and wrapping the quarterback up.
Also
Tommy stays in the game. Austin Rourke there.
Also, Devin Willis into the game at linebacker for Woodward.
Joe Green in there, defensive end.
Brown looking, throwing
that was
high. And
out of bounds. Arrington Farrar coming in there. Jocelyn Myrick making the reception on the sideline there. He's thinking, do I get credit for that? That go in my stats. Going to bring up again second and look at the scoreboard here, 22. Second and a long way. Or third and a long way, excuse me, with that pass, incomplete pass. Clock now at 3:14, stopped on the incomplete pass. Shotgun formation.
Brown looking, pressure coming from Rourke, and nearly caught.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
Austin Rourke came in untouched.
Yep.
And just leveled Andre Brown there.
And I'll tell you right now, Austin Phillips and Steve Smith are thanking their lucky stars that ball was just thrown a little bit out of the reach, because it was a great throw. And that was a pressure by Austin Rourke. I think that incompletion goes to Austin Rourke on that play.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I tell you, but it was a pretty throw, and if he could have caught it,
It wasn't, and you know Andre Brown saw big number 44 Austin Rourke coming, out of the corner of his eye, and credit to him, showing a lot of poise and moxie in the pocket there, and we got a fumble on the punt, and he's now going to take it himself.
Oh my goodness!
And he's upended at about the 30-yard line.
I tell you though, he picked up that ball at the 1, and he ran 29 yards. On the play, and it looks like we may have a flag, and oh my goodness gracious, and it's going to be declined. Yeah, sure. Illegal procedure on Towers on that play would be declined, so Woodward will take over 1st and 10 at about the Towers 30-yard line.
Well, he's making I won't even say something out of nothing, something out of a potential disaster.
Right.
Crisis somewhat averted for Towers, but again.
And we had the
position here.
Yeah, and we had the return set up on that one. That's why it was not near as catastrophic as it otherwise would have been if we'd had some pressure on him. Jess Sutherland in at quarterback.
Hands
a little
to
bit
Quincy
of a trap.
Wolf.
Quincy Wolf taking it up there. It's the first time we've called his name tonight, I think, as a running back at least. And he picks up about 5 or 6 yards. Looks like they'll make it 5 yards. And that is a good thing about our offense this year. I mean, we got a lot of skilled players at the skill positions. And so, if it's not Austin Phillips, it's Jocelyn Meyer. If it's not Myrick, it's Quincy Wolf. If it's not Quincy Wolf, it's Malcolm Twyman, who's got the ball on this play.
Twyman powering his way.
Yeah, I tell you, Twyman, he's not going to dance around you. He's going to take it up the middle, baby. You like that. You like that north and south action.
Twyman, you're right. Twyman's not going to dance around the background, around the backfield, try to make people miss and stuff. He's taking it north and south, and there we saw he just ran over a couple of defenders en route to a big gain, a first down, and love to see Woodward punch one in here.
Sure. Minute 45 left in the first half, second quarter. Oh my goodness, we got another offsides, which is going to take it halfway, and so yep. And I tell you, it's hard to see the numbers out here, but I'm wondering, it's the interior of the defensive line that's jumping offside, and I wonder if it's the same player.
And right there it was Christian Poole, the defensive lineman. I think we've seen him jump offsides a couple of times. Mm-hmm. He is 6'3", 270, and a sophomore.
Oh, my God.
So
to get him in the weight room, he's going to be a force.
He is.
There we go,
There's
Mr. Twyman. No.
Reaching.
Stopped at about the 1 foot line.
Great effort by Twyman. Extended.
I tell you, you got to give Towers defense a little bit of credit here. I mean, they're making us work for it. It's not, when we may be able to score from 47 yards out, but when we get into the red zone, they're bending their backs up, they're bowing up, and making it a lot more difficult for us. Got Isaiah Matthews all the way out on the right side.
Woodward going power formation here, and they will.
They were going to give it to Michael Twyman, going to try and scoot him around the right edge there and take him into the end zone, but it looks like illegal procedure for Woodward. And Josh, this is that the discipline we were talking about. We get in the red zone here, and we're up 41-0, and we may be just kind of losing our focus a little bit, and making some silly mistakes. Because this is our veteran offensive line here. This is not it's not the second or third string. This is the first string out there. Twyman again, going to hit the edge. Does he get the speed? He does this time. Touchdown. Touchdown, Michael Twyman. 6-yard run off the right side.
Well, felt like Coach Hunt went to Twyman about 20 times there in the red zone, and he finally gets the touchdown. Got to like the persistence from Coach Hunt, going to the same player, getting him the score. He's really, really shown some great play in this game and in this season for Woodward, and good to see the senior running back there get a touchdown of his own.
Absolutely. I mean, so far we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different people score in tonight's game. The only one scoring twice, of course, is Alex Robinson on the 2 field goals. But we had Myrick score first, followed by Carter Pilch, followed by Benji Russell, followed by Steve Smith, Isaiah Matthews, and now Michael Twyman. Okay. And again, as a coach, I think, you like to spread the ball around. You like to give as many people a taste of that end zone as possible because that just makes you work that much harder than otherwise. And you love that feeling of scoring a touchdown. And you know you can score a touchdown. And the coaches know you can score a touchdown. It's nothing but positives right now for the Woodward offense.
You could argue, this is maybe not the stiffest defense they're going to face all year, and that's perfectly valid. But at the same time, those positive images just start to conjure up. When you're playing St. Pius here in a couple weeks and you're in that red zone, Malcolm Twyman comes into the game, you better believe he's going to remember that touchdown rush he just had. And the positives that come out of these plays, just huge. And here's another good return. Keeping his balance, that was number 6 again, Damon Hassel. And he's had a couple decent returns tonight.
Yeah, but, going back to your point about, building up the confidence of the players. I mean, it's not like, Towers is just falling down and we're just, tiptoeing in the end zone. I mean, we're having to work for it. And, we're having to, on every one of these plays, our players have had to make the touchdown. Exactly. And they've had to use their athleticism, use their agility to make the moves to get into the end zone. So it's, these are legit touchdowns, I guess is what I'm saying. We're just not tiptoeing in and things like that. Well, 9 seconds left in the first half, the second quarter. Woodward up now 48-0.
Brown.
Oh,
and he gets
my goodness gracious.
Absolutely.
Number 24, Devon Willis. Okay. And that ends the first half.
Well, Devin Willis there, last play of the first half, leveling Andre Brown there, Towers quarterback. And, kind of summarizes how the first half has gone. 48-0 Woodward, a commanding lead, and certainly on their way to a W in this one. But now, same thing we were talking about pregame. The fundamentals in the second half, and Woodward's really shown some good signs of that, even bringing in some of the second-string guys. Everyone still looks energized. Everyone still looks like they're trying to, just work as hard as possible. And and the same goes for Towers. They are, I won't say unfazed by the deficit that they're facing here, But like you said, even looking at that last drive Woodward had with great field position, there are no gimme points for Woodward.
No.
As you said, these are legit touchdowns. Towers maybe an 0-16, but they're not going to fall down. They're not just going to give Woodward points even in the second half. You can certainly count on that. Their coach is going to go in there, give them a good halftime speech and tell them to keep their heads up, which they've certainly been doing, which has been very impressive considering they're down by 48 points here in the first half. But now we've got halftime, got all kinds of festivities. The homecoming queen will be announced, and get to see the homecoming court and everything.
Yeah, we're going to turn up the mic so you can pick up all the festivities of the halftime and find out along with everyone else who our homecoming queen is for 2012. And so we'll catch you back at the beginning of the second half.
once again for the Robert W. Woodruff Marching Band. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to present the 2012 Woodward Academy Homecoming Court. Representing the 9th grade this year is Nicole Hoffman. Nicole is the daughter of Caroline and Sebastian Hoffman. She is escorted tonight by freshman Dwayne Watkins. Mary Elizabeth Cooper is escorted this evening by Drew Singh. She is the 10th grade representative. Mary Elizabeth is the daughter of Caroline McKinney and track team Hakeem Garkey. Callie Kennedy is the 11th grade representative. This year, 5 representatives were chosen from the senior class. The following roles represent the 12th grade. Anna Miltner. Anna is the daughter of Kimberly and Barry Miltner. Anna is escorted tonight by senior Chad Pack. Kaylee Orkin. Kaylee is the daughter of Judy and Michael Orkin. Kaylee's escort is senior Robert Passarella. Michelle Rayfield. Michelle is being escorted this evening by senior Andrew Sile. Michelle is the daughter of Lynn and David Rayfield. Lindsay Rohr. Lindsay is the daughter of Kathy and David Rohr. Lindsay is being escorted tonight by senior Spencer Jackson. And the final member of the 2012 Homecoming Court is Lauren Smith. Lauren is the daughter of Mrs. Joelle Smith and the late Mr. Terry Smith. Her escort this evening is senior Brandon Rohr. To crown the 2012 Woodward Academy Homecoming Queen, we are happy to welcome last year's Queen, Lucy Candelario. Lucy is now a student at the University of Southern California. She is accompanied by Mr. Jack Rhodes, member of the Woodward Academy class of 1993 and the president of the Alumni Association Board of Directors. Ms. Condolora and Mr. Rhodes will present the Queen and the Maid of Honor with gifts specially designed and donated by Mercer Jewelry. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. The 2012 Maid of Honor this year is Lindsay Rohr. The 2012 Woodward Academy Homecoming Queen is Michelle Rayfield. Congratulations, Michelle and Lindsay, and to all of the members of the 2012 Homecoming Corps. And thank you to all of the students for all of the celebration this week. It has been a fantastic homecoming week. And again, welcome back to our alumni, GNA and Woodward Academy. This concludes our halftime presentation.
All right, welcome back to the second half, the beginning of the second half of the Woodward Towers homecoming game. Charles Bryant here along with Josh Cohen. Coach Merrill will be joining us shortly, I think. Well, Josh, we got ourselves a kind of a handy football game here, 48-0. Woodward scoring, again, virtually every way possible, just to kind of run down the list. First score was a 47-yard touchdown, the first play from scrimmage for Woodward. Jocelyn Myrick scored a touchdown, then a 12-yard TD pass for Connor Pilch, field goals, interceptions, 7 different people scoring. And we got ourselves a running clock in this second half. And Robinson kicks off, and it'll be returned at the 5-yard line, coming upfield, takes it outside, brought down by number 45, Kai Glencross, at about the 15-yard line.
That was a great tackle in space there.
And what the running clock means, whenever there's a 31-point or more differential in the score, it's a running clock. For right now, the clock is running, even though there's it was a kickoff and they're setting up the chains and stuff. The clock is going to run. I think the only time it stops is really a timeout and whenever there's a touchdown. Elsewise, incomplete passes, running out of bounds, change of possessions, it all runs. So it's going to be a fairly quick second half. And as we were commenting at the during this first half, we're going to see what type of kind of character that Towers has in this second half, and they start off running the ball up the left side.
That was Torrance Marable getting the handoff from Andre Brown there. Yeah, I was very impressed in that first half. Losing by almost 50 points. They weren't going into the locker room with their heads down. I'm sure they understand they're not going to win this game, but they certainly have the will to keep fighting, and that's impressive. That's admirable in any team, but especially coming in 0-6, huge underdog. Game plays out as expected. They're not going to throw in the towel. You can be sure of that. So here they go on 2nd and 8, and Andre Brown under center. Brown looking, and it's caught. Gets by Carter Johnson. Keeps moving those legs to about the 15-yard line.
Austin Rourke coming up and making a big stop, and then Jamil Spencer finished it off. It looked like that pass might have been tipped, but it was caught, and the Towers receiver made a great move to the inside to avoid Carter Johnson. And then, but again, the Woodward defense playing fundamentals, playing discipline, came up, and the play only netted a 2-yard gain.
Just looking out there to start this second half, Woodward has a lot of the starters out there. There's some new personnel. Got Richard Wang in there at defensive line.
It's number 78.
Number 70, and a couple others out there. But for the most part, this is the starting defensive set, and Jamil Spencer there making a nice tackle at about the 20-yard line. Decent play there from the Titans.
Right.
Get a couple yards through the air.
Yeah, it was about a 15, 20-yard throw out to the flats, but netted only a 2-yard gain. It's going to bring up 4th and about 4. And Towers in for the punt on their first possession. No. Very aggressive play here. They're going to try and draw him off sides. Oh, nope.
4th and 4.
Going for it.
Brown
They're going
looking,
for it.
and he's got it.
And
First
not only
down,
does he have
Towers,
it,
and he has it, and he's got some space to about the 41-yard line. And wow, that was number 10, Malik Santa. Again, he's been solid in this game so far, and he got a big first down there on 4th and 4, deep in their own territory, unfazed. Coach Marvin Jones goes for it, and the Titans pick up a big first down there.
That is borders on kind of shaking your head aggressiveness, but it worked out this time. And again, striking that Achilles heel, which I think is the Woodward defense in that secondary. We let them catch the ball, and then we tackle them. And against a good team like we saw with Blessed Trinity, that's not going to work out for us.
Brown,
and here we're going to go.
Nearly intercepted by Benji Russell.
Boy, just way overthrown. Benji Russell was actually in a great position to catch that ball, but it was so overthrown. Even out. It was even too far for Benji.
We saw that great pick 6 by Russell in the first half. Seen him quite a bit here at defensive back. We're so used to seeing him at wide receiver.
And I think that's part of the adjustment that the team made again following the Blessed Trinity game to bring in a little bit more athleticism to the corner position. And I think that's why Benji's sitting out there at corner right now.
Here's the handoff and a nice tackle by Rourke in the backfield.
Boy, nice blitz, nice read, nice way to step up there in the hole.
The freshman Torrance Marable on the carry.
And that's just a great execution by Austin. That's a sign of the great coaching that Woodward, has had for the past 3 or 4 years, and Austin's really showing that on the field, making the big hits. And good solid tackling tonight. a little bit of concern in the previous games. Woodward doing a little bit of arm tackling, but this team they're putting their hat between the numbers.
Brown looking, pressure coming, and he's thrown down to the ground.
Ben Walker.
Ben Walker, the senior, making a nice tackle there, gets the sack.
And these guys are getting through, Josh. They're getting through pretty clean now, which I think is just a sign of the fatigue that's the Towers offensive line. It's already only just now getting down to 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Again, with this running clock, things are going to go very, very fast. But you got to give Towers credit again. They're lining up, and they came out here to play and score. Timeout being taken by Towers on 4th and about 20-something, 21. They're lined up to punt. I guess they had the wrong formation or the wrong personnel in there. Now, Josh, just since you know the names so much better than I do, why don't you tell us again who was homecoming queen for 2012?
The queen was Michelle Raphael, and Lindsay Rohr was also honored in the
and she's
halftime celebration. Yeah, she's the runner-up, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So the voting or the all the results came in, and Michelle Raphael, senior at Woodward, is this year's homecoming queen.
All right.
It's always a great week, great celebration and everything, and when they crown the homecoming queen, everyone gets all excited. The crowd gets all quiet. It's a big moment. It's
sure.
evolved into a great tradition, not only at Woodward but at a lot of schools. Homecoming week is always great, and that's always one of the highlights. And the ball bounced there, and they're going to throw. Oh, and Austin Phillips with a huge hit on
Fake
Torrance
punt.
Marable.
Fake punt executed real well. Picked up, but only picked up about 8 or 9 of the 21 yards they needed. And so Woodward will take over on downs. And again, the clock is a running clock, so the clock continues to run.
That was a broken play from the start. The snap was low. It kind of skidded its way to the punter, and at that point, just kind of picked it up and threw a decent pass actually there. But again, 21 yards to go. That certainly wasn't going to get it done. So Jess Sutherland, the sophomore backup quarterback for the War Eagles, takes the field. And here we go, 1st and 10 Woodward. Handoff there to Matthew Clopton, the sophomore running back. Starting to see some of the younger players getting integrated here slowly but surely.
Sure.
Matthew Clopton, only a sophomore. We're seeing a lot of new faces out there. Isaiah Matthews in at wide receiver, number 20 on the far side of your screen there.
A.J. Cole in at tight end. Haynes Robinson there in the left tackle.
They'll hand it off to Theo Culley,
a junior who's wrapped up after about a 5 or 6 yard gain. Tremaine Smith in there. Brandon Johnson, 10th grader. Ben Walker. Marcus Hyatt, number 25. Austin Willis, number 85, out there on the wide receiver post.
A lot of underclassmen.
Absolutely.
Yep. Good to see him. Good to see him out there. Culley in motion, and they'll
wow,
hand
what a
off.
great handoff. Boy, that was well executed. That was well executed. Matthew Clopton hitting the, late flag, maybe a little bit of, looks like going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, not sure on who. They're talking with the Towers folks, so maybe tempers are starting to get a little bit frayed. Personal foul on Woodward. Okay, offsetting personal foul on Towers. This is this is the thing that neither coach on either side wants to see. When games get out of hand, you don't want to see Towers get all frustrated and start to take out their frustration with cheap shots, and you don't want to see Woodward knowing that they've got this game won to take cheap shots as well. And this is where you just get this discipline and leadership where you got to turn around and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get baited into a personal foul. So it results in a first down. Again, Clopton picking up, very, very well executed dive play, very quick handoff and quick run.
Again, that's the sophomore center in for Ethan Frank. This is number 53, Brandon Johnson, in the game. Matthew Clopton stays at halfback position.
Oh, my goodness.
He hits the hole quickly again. I'll tell you what, great holes are opening up on
They
that
are.
goal line, but Matthew Clopton's getting going right away, hitting the hole, and gets another good gain there on the ground.
Yeah, I'm impressed with his initial burst of speed coming out of the backfield and hitting that hole. And he's right now he's a sophomore, so he's a little bit smaller than running back than we're used to looking at. But he runs low to the ground, and he's got tight control on that ball, and he's hitting that hole hard. Looks like a younger version of Michael Twyman hitting the hole hard and running north and south.
We've got Charles Wellborn, number 17, out to the left here, and handoff again.
Boy, I tell you, there we go. Touched. Oh, my goodness.
Stopped.
What an effort by Matthew Clopton. Okay, incredible. I mean, he was tackled 2 or 3 times, but he kept himself moving. Got bounced around like kind of like a pinball going around in there, but keeping his feet underneath him. Takes it all the way to the 1-yard line.
Great balance, strength. Matthew Clopton there again. Talk about the young players on this team and who he's learning from. He's got Quincy Wolf, Austin Phillips, Malcolm Twyman, some great players to look up to, and he's really showing what he can do here in this game. See if he punches it in here. Clopton breaks a tackle, and he
should have crossed. It looked like to me he crossed the goal line.
It looked like he got in.
Oh.
They're not going to give it to him. Well, he was stopped awfully close, got shoved back to about the 5, but when his forward progress stopped, I don't know. Might have to get that indisputable video evidence going. That was awfully close.
Yeah, it looked like he broke the plane. I'm going to make you a bet, young Josh Cohen. They call number 36. Let the Clopton, let him get his touchdown. Look at that. Straight ahead touchdown.
Untouched. Matthew Clopton gets a touchdown for Woodward. 1:15 left in the third quarter. And Woodward tacks on yet another 6 points in this game. Now 54-0. And Woodward now to attempt the extra point. Now this is William Collings, the backup kicker. Alex Robinson's work for the day seems to be done. Collings, a sophomore, and he's in now to attempt the PAT.
Effectively a 20-yard kick. That's up and away, and it's
been good.
G-O-O-D, good. Fantastic. Good to see these young guys getting out there and getting a taste of the big-time football. Because in the blink of an eye, they're going to be the juniors and seniors, and they're going to be the ones carrying this team. The next next 2 years.
And again, it's moments like these. Everyone remembers their first game, their first big varsity game. Everyone dreams about it. From the time they're 3 or 4 years old. And oftentimes as an underclassman, you're thrown into a game where your team is up, 48-0. But that's the last thing you're thinking about when you're in there.
Right.
You're just. Oh man, you're floating on cloud 9. It's an unbelievable feeling for a player like Matthew Clopton there, getting some time, getting a touchdown, and he's always going to remember that and take that into his future seasons here at Woodward. And this this kickoff squad is pretty fired up, kind of dancing around there, somewhat like the San Francisco 49ers often do. Here they go. Collings to kick off. He's also taking on the kickoff duties. And to about the 10-yard line. Bit of hesitation there. And
here we go. Slips down at the 20.
That was Hassel on the return. Decent return, man. I'll tell you, he's had some good returns, and he slips up at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that little hesitation, trying to open up a lane there, let the blocks develop, let the kick return team spread out a little bit and see if you can find a hole and take it north-south. And again, you got to give credit, and I know the score is 54-0 and everything like that, but Towers is not. They're not giving up. They're still trying to score. They're going to come back in a shotgun and they're going to throw the ball. And they're going to sling it out there and see if they can get some points on the board. Woodward playing a very soft defense right now. Quarterback takes it up the left side on a kind of a sweep option, but again, unfortunately, I think the Towers backs just don't have the speed that they need to have to hit those corners and pick up any significant yards. I mean, after all that effort, they pick up a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's wow. And that's the end of the third quarter.
Again, if you're scratching your head or if you're just joining us, it was a running clock. So in that third quarter, and will continue to be because of a mercy rule, I guess you could say,
right,
in high school football. So we'll continue to have that running clock, and this fourth quarter will go by very quickly, much like that third period of play did.
And I know they got a mercy rule in softball, and I think they got one in baseball. Is there one in soccer as well?
There is. It's 10 goals. 10 goals or like 7 goals or something by 20 minutes. It's it's very reasonable, because you've got one team. You don't want to, if one team is so clearly superior to the other, you don't want to put up 30 goals.
Right.
Demoralizing the other team so much. But,
right.
But at the same time, still give the other team some time, and
sure.
And everything. So it's 10 goals by halftime, and then a certain second half rule. But a lot of sports incorporate that because every now and again you do kind of get a lopsided game like one of these. But here we go, fourth quarter. Again, this is homecoming night here at Woodward Academy. Towers on 2nd and 8, Andre Brown looking.
Intercepted. Pick six, baby.
That was
25.
Marcus Hyatt.
Marcus Hyatt.
The sophomore. We saw him in there on offense, and we just saw him get a pick six there on defense. The receiver slipped.
Yep.
Damon Hassel, and that obviously caused some problems. An easy pick six there for Marcus Hyatt. But again, a young player. Big moment for him, getting a pick six in a varsity game. Now 61-0 Woodward.
And that is the 10th different Woodward player to score in this game if you count, Collins kicking the PATs. But that was a fortunate break for Woodward.
Collins up, and that one's perfect.
The receiver slipping, and it just sailed right into Hyatt's hands. Well, this is one of the few times that when a running clock situation, the clock will in fact stop when there is a score. And so with 11:35 left in the fourth quarter, Woodward is taking the game up to now 62-0. And lest you think that, this is where people start to talk about running up the score and stuff like that. I mean, when you get defensive interceptions, and we've gotten 14 points off of defensive, turnovers, that's not running up the score. And so far in the second half, we're running the ball up the gut. We're not trying to, wild halfback option flea flickers or anything like that. I mean, Coach Hunt is playing a very respectful game on the offensive side of the ball. And, we just had some really fortunate breaks on the defensive side of the ball. And so the 62-0, I hope nobody's going to be left, with any impression that, Woodward's running up the score, because that's not what's happening here. Again, Coach Hunt, I think, is very respectful of the Towers team, and he wants to give those kids reason to hold their heads up. And Collins kicks off, and it's taken at the 4-yard line.
This is Hassel again, and he gets to about the 25, 26 yard lines before he scampers out of bounds.
And for Towers' credit, I mean, you know, they pretty much have the same crowd that started the game. The same number of fans are still over there on the away side of the field. And so Towers takes over once again, 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Shotgun formation.
Brown hands it off, and that's big number 32, Sterling Pate, on the carry. And
I tell you, you know, as impressive as that play look, again, it's only 2 or 3 yards, and so I mean the Woodward defense, even the second and third stringers are stepping up big. You know, there's a tendency when you put in these younger kids, you know, there's the fear, you know, that they just get absolutely blown out of their holes, blown out of their assignments. But that's not what is happening. This defense is holding its own against the Towers, what appears to be the Towers' first string offense.
Pate again.
Wow,
he gets
nice
stood
hit.
up at the 30-yard line.
Number 45, Kai Glencross. Okay, stepping up big and putting his hat between the numbers. Textbook takedown on that tackle right there. That's good coaching and good execution by the junior. He saw a couple, you know, action at the Blessed Trinity game when Austin Rourke got a little stinger in his shoulder, and Glencross stepped in and did a good job.
He did. Mm-hmm. And of course, Alex Idson's still out with that injury, but we've seen him do some great things at linebacker as well. So Rourke
having a little helmet issue there. Yep.
Getting the headgear back on. Play will now resume. Brown, plenty of time throwing.
Oh my goodness!
It's caught. There's Hassel. It's caught, and he is
he's
taken
struck down at the 5-6 yard line. My goodness gracious! And that was thrown against Dustin Jenkins. Just a straight fly route, straight up the right sideline. Perfect throw by the quarterback. Foot race, and but Dustin Jenkins got burned on that play, but he also saved the touchdown. So you know, good recovery, good effort from Jenkins there.
Yeah, nothing fancy going on there. That's just a go route, and that was just, you know, Hassel got the better of Dustin Jenkins there, but again, Jenkins recovers, saves the touchdown, but it'll be 1st and 10 after a huge gain there through the air, and Towers in the red zone. Handoff and a great tackle. That was Kai Glencross again.
Boy, Kai coming up there and making the big stop. Great read, great pursuit. Coming up in for a couple-yard loss at that, taking him back to about the 8 or 9 yard line. Let's see where they mark it. Looks like they're going to mark it maybe at the 7. Okay, so a 1 yard loss. Towers trying to hit the corners there on the short side of the field. Well, they realize this is their best opportunity to score for the entire game and avoid the shutout. And Coach Hunt leaving the second, you know, these younger kids in on the defense.
Brown looking, and he's going to take it himself. Tucks and runs.
Kai Glencross again, big pursuit. Again, I think you're just seeing here, Josh, I think you're just seeing again, they just don't have the speed to really hit that corner and take it up the field. And the backside pursuit, you know, they're running to the long side of the field on that play and looking for a lane and just wasn't there.
Great adjustment by Kai Glencross there.
Well, he is certainly earning his stripes tonight. He is playing very well, in very big situations at that.
We'll bring up 3rd down and 6 after a pair of Kai Glencross tackles. Again, Towers in the red zone, for the first time tonight, so great chance for them to score. Andre Brown rolling out to his right, throws back across the middle, and he's got it to Hassel. Touchdown, and a well-executed play, a well-thrown ball, and Towers gets on the board.
Yeah, and that's just that's just where you got an inexperienced defense there. You've got the quarterback rolling out to the right, to the long side of the field. You got receivers crossing all over the place, and somebody's going to shake free in that type of play, and quick strike, and Towers gets on the board with 5:54 left in the 4th quarter after a huge long pass play. And again, congratulations to Towers on that, sticking with it, sticking in the game, and they're going to go for 2 points. They just don't want to get 7, they want to get 8.
Brown will throw to Hassel, and he will not get the 2.
Who was that again? It's going to be Mr. 36. That's
Clopton.
Clopton coming up, making a big stop on the defense on the 2-point conversion. Of course, Towers just trying to use the athleticism of their star running back, but again, Woodward's defense stepping up and making the big stop and holding them just to the touchdown, just to the 6 points. 5:23 left in the 4th quarter. So it makes the score 62-6, but still a running clock in this situation, even though it stops, of course, on the turnovers. On the touchdowns. And we've got Christian Warzak and number 35, who's not on my roster.
I believe that's Anton Williams.
Okay.
The freshman.
First time, the second time that Towers has kicked off. Squibber, somebody better get on that ball.
And this is Anton Williams now. Makes a
nice
cut.
Move.
And he's dragged down at the 35-yard line, but a nice initial move there
absolutely.
by the freshman.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice move, and then took it upfield, but tracked down from behind. And so the War Eagles will take over at the 35-yard line. They're on 35-yard line. Right now, under 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Making all kinds of substitutions now. There we go.
Off and a nice gain. There, that's.
I tell you, Josh, I think we're reaching a part of the roster that that we don't have. Number 30, but we got a flag on the field, and in the backfield must be holding. That's typically where those flags are thrown. And yep, I think that's it. Number 30 at quarterback.
Austin Willis is the receiver, and they'll hand off to number 28. Gain of a couple yards.
Picked up about 4 yards on that carry. Yeah, I think we're digging so deep down in the roster. I'm overhearing Coach Freer, the PA announcer, and he's also without names for these numbers. But a good strong run, picks up 4 or 5 yards for number 28 off of the right side of the line. Off tackle play. Under 3.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Woodward's 2012 homecoming game has been very successful for Woodward on both the offensive and the defensive side of the ball.
Handoff to Anton Williams there. Good little fake handoff there before
that was a well-executed play. Kind of had a fake counter on that play, and Antoine Williams comes back up and gets the handoff. Picks up about 3 or 4 more yards, but it brings up fourth and about 3.5. And Woodward will have its first punt of the night.
William Collings, sophomore, into the game to punt this ball away. Back deep to return. Who else than Damon Hassel? I've called his name quite a bit tonight, and he's standing at about the 30, awaiting the punt.
A little bit of a high snap, but Collins gets it away. Nice punt. It's going to take a great Woodward bounce and another great Woodward bounce.
Just keeps rolling to about the 15.
All the way down to the 15. That's going to be a great punt for the stat sheet for young Mr. Collins.
Again, with that running clock, we're under 2 minutes now left in the game. Woodward up 62-6, and this Towers offense will take the field yet again. Again, Marcus Hyatt and Charles Wellborn, the corners in the game for the War Eagles. Also have Matthew Clopton, Kai Glencross.
Arrington Farrar back there at safety, kind of our big safety valve back there. Just don't let anybody behind you.
Brown looking, plenty of time. He's going to tuck it and run. Brown to about the 30 before he's... Well, that was Glencross in there.
Boy, he did. I mean, Kai's just playing, exceptional. I mean, and I tell you what surprises me a little bit more than anything is just how fast he is.
Yep.
He has really got very good closing speed, picking some very good angles, and and making good solid tackles, wrapping them up.
I think you're right. I think he's got such deceptive speed because he's in there in no time. It's almost like you see him take off, and before you know it, he's already wrapped the guy up. And think about how quickly he got there. Kai Glencross, again, a great replacement to the starting linebackers. And we've seen him step into some big games and do really well, like you said. And he has been playing out of his mind tonight, flying all over the place. There was another great hustle play, dragging down Andre Brown, the Towers quarterback. And... well, with 48 seconds left.
Yep.
This one's all but over. Might get to see another play or two.
Yeah, these are going to be the Hail Mary plays.
Brown rolling up to his right, throwing back across the middle.
Incomplete.
Nearly intercepted. Arrington Farrar. Well, he wanted that one.
Dustin Jenkins also had a chance at the ball. And not sure why the clock is. I think we got an injury. That's why the clock stopped.
That's Hassel down. We'll play, and good to see him up on his feet, jogging off the sidelines.
Yeah, he's had yeoman's duty tonight for Towers, both offense, defense. He's really carried the load for him. Talented young football player. So 37 seconds left. We're going to bring the pressure a little bit. Here they come
Brown
off the corners.
looking and
Complete. And Kai Glenncross and number 25, Marcus Hyatt on the tackle there.
And another Towers injury. Boy, I'll tell you, that was impressive from Towers quarterback Andre Brown. A little bit of a check down throw, kind of looked off the first receiver, and then looked to the other side of the field and found an open receiver. So, I've been pretty impressed with Andre Brown tonight, keeping the offense motivated. He got a touchdown, had that touchdown pass to Hassel. So I've been very impressed with the.
They've moved the ball reasonably well on many of their possessions. They've also kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with a lot of the, especially in the first half, with a lot of the procedure penalties and things like that. They had those 2 big interceptions, of course, but still, a lot of positives that the Towers offense can perhaps take from this game. With as much pressure as we've been putting on the quarterback, you got to give him some credit for. He's maintained his composure. He's been pretty cool back there.
27 seconds left in this one.
Got the whole Towers coaching staff out on the field. Still on the field. Look at this. Oh, this is where. Yeah, this is getting a little. I think the coach was just kind of camping out on the field a little bit just to buy the team a little bit more time. With 27 seconds left, and the ref throws the flag, and I think there's going to be.
Yep.
A penalty there. It's going to bring up 3rd and long, but still 27 seconds left.
Just about over at this point.
Right. A little bit of frustration there from the Towers coaches.
Brown on 3rd and 8, looking, time, throwing it. Well, Hassel had that one and then dropped it.
Just out of his hands, yep. And that's going to be it, folks. 13 seconds left. I don't think they'll get off another play. They're kind of hurry-up offense, so maybe they will. Yeah, it looks like they may get up another play. So there's a snap.
Brown looking and
incomplete. And that's the ball game, folks. That one's in the books.
That'll do it. Woodward defeats the Towers Titans 62-6 on homecoming night here at Woodward Academy. After a week of festivities, the long-awaited homecoming game, and Woodward wins it in convincing fashion. Towers put up a great fight. They had their work cut out for them coming into this game, but they put up a great fight. Ended up getting a touchdown there, and I was impressed with their work rate. But Woodward today, just the better team, moving the ball with ease, and the defense stood strong as well. Had 2 defensive touchdowns, so impressive performance by Woodward. But Towers, kept fighting, and final score, 62-6. Woodward wins it.
Yeah, and now. That game's over, and now we got to look forward to McNair next week, which is an away game, and then I think what's going to come down as we actually predicted at the beginning of the season, the last 2 games against St. Pius here, and then Cedar Grove, the last game away, to see where we're going to ultimately end up in this region playoff. And so it's going to be an exciting 3 weeks for Woodward football. Josh, thanks. Great job again tonight.
Thank you, and same to you. Fans, join us again here on October 26th for that huge showdown. The crosstown rivalry with St. Pius will be right here at 7:30 on October 26th. So please join us for that one. That'll be a huge game for Woodward. And thanks again. Thank you to our entire production crew here, and to Mr. Bryant alongside me. And we'll see you next time.
All right, good night, folks.